Hi, welcome back to AutoReview. My name is Patrick and today I'm presenting you the 2018 Subaru Impreza 4x4. Before we get to the car, as usual, I would like to ask you to please subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon so you're informed about any new video coming out, and thank you very much Centralgarage who provided this car to me. You'll find the link in the description. Okay, coming back to the car. The 2018 Impreza comes in this version with a 2.0 liter boxer engine producing 156 horsepower at 6,000 RPM, maximum torque of 196 Nm at 4,000 RPM, 0 to 100 in 9.4 seconds, top speed 205 km an hour, a CO2 output of 152 grams per kilometer, and the prices start at 24,150 Swiss francs in Switzerland for the smaller engine with 114 horsepower. This one, as we have here, with the Lineartronic 7-speed automatic gearbox with manual function, all-wheel drive obviously, the eyesight and a lot of equipment on board, would cost you 31,650 Swiss francs. 50 liter fuel capacity and an average fuel consumption of tested that I had 6.6 to 7.2 liters on 100 kilometers. So, as usual, I'll show you first row, second row, the boot space, and then we drive. Enjoy! So, the 2018 Subaru Impreza from inside, and the first change that you will see from the old one, and I am very grateful and thankful for that, is the new entertainment system, and it's much better than the one before. It is still a little bit confusing where you find what, however they cleaned it up, and before you had a button here, something here, something here. It's still separated a little bit, however much better to use. Nevertheless, as usual, from left to right. On the left side we have the electric mirrors, which are heated and electric foldable, so you can see I can fold them in and out as well while driving. So if you're on a fuel consumption trip there where you want to beat your record, you can fold them in to have some less drag coefficient. We have a little indicator on the left when you blink, and we have the blind spot assistant in the mirror case. It's actually, I would say, exactly the same like in the Audi Q2 that we tested earlier, or that you will actually see as well. It looks exactly the same setup. Auto electric windows for the front and electric windows for the back. You can lock them. Then what I love is we have real carbon fiber here and on the other side in the door. However, you will see in the back we just have something that looks like carbon fiber, which isn't. We only have it in the front. Then leather wrapped, which is all soft touch as well here. So materials are much better, much nicer. We have this kind of aluminum part here, as well as on the left side. And this, I guess, it's plastic, though I'm not quite sure. It's plastic. Then, as well as this kind of plastic applications here, looks like aluminum, however, it's not metal, it's plastic. Then, left side, we can dim the lights or interior. We have ESP on and off, automatic start-stop on and off. We have the blind spot assistant on and off, and tire pressure sensors. Then we have aluminum pedals, which are really nice. Steering wheel, leather wrapped, good thickness, not too thin, not too thick. Was really good to drive. Obviously you can adjust it in reach and rake, so you should be able to find your position. And the seat as well are adjustable in height and obviously in all different positions. However, I could not find a lumbar support, so that's a little shame. Now, instrument cluster left, the RPM, right, the speedo. In the middle we have a color display. What I like as well, a little feature or a little gimmick, is when I push the brakes, it actually indicates here that the brakes are on, which is really nice. So every time you push the brakes, it illuminates like you're driving behind a car and you see the lights flashing. Really nice. Fuel consumption, I mentioned 6.6 to 7.2. 6.6 was the lowest, and here we can go through and have different information. So to use that screen in the middle, you have these 3 buttons below the steering wheel or behind the steering wheel kind of attached to it, and you can switch through average fuel consumption and so on, as well as trip A and trip B you can switch next to the dashboard. Then we have shift pedals, right up, left down for the 7-speed. You can either do it this way or you bring it back and put it to left in manual, or you just do that while driving in automatic with the shift pedals. Then to go through the radio stations, volume rocker, source, so USB or Bluetooth radio or radio. Then the info display on top above the navigation is 6.3 inch and gives you information. This one actually is the most entertaining one, or gives you most information. You have the time, the temperature in the car, you have temperature outside, range, average fuel consumption, actual fuel consumption, and so on and so on. You can switch through here, date and time. Then you have all the sensors that are on or off. And we have a lot of here. You have the incline in degrees, you have how much power goes to the front, to the back, engine temperature, water temperature, oil temperature, average speed for both trip A, trip B, navigation and radio. Here we have DAB radio as well. Then you have voice control and phone. And on the right side we have the adaptive cruise control with the radar in 5 settings. One thing that you always have to turn on the cruise control when you get in the car, a little bit annoying, but you get used to it, and the lane departure assistant as well. Then this one I mentioned, we have the navigation display here, 8-inch, which is really nice quality, good resolution, really like it, with the shortcut buttons and a physical rocker for the volume and the tune scroll. Again, you can go to radio, map, apps. You can obviously download some apps. We have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which is great, and it works super easy. So if you have an app on your phone with the radio, you plug it in automatically, within 1 or 2 seconds it switches to that radio station if you listen to online radio like I do. And obviously menu button to go through and adjust all the different things. Then below that we have the air conditioning, 2-zone, left and right. And below that we have a little compartment to put your phone, 1 aux in, 2 USB ports, 1 12-volt power socket. We have 2 more USB ports here and 1 more 12-volt power socket here, which is great. Then the 7-speed Lineartronic hill climb assistant, so basically when you're on a slope, so the car will not roll down, it will help you to accelerate. Electronic parking brake, heated seats in 2 settings for driver and passenger, 2 cup holders with spacers, little compartment if you have a smaller phone. Then the armrest you can't slide forward, however it's actually okay if you have the lever in the back. And then again the compartment which I mentioned, which is quite deep, where you can put different items. Glove box is okay if you leave that huge instruction manual at home, you don't really need it. Then we have the mirror that dims itself, obviously the light you can turn on and off, anti-collision assistant and the lane departure assistant. Then illuminated mirror for driver and passenger, and cannot slide them out. Handle for the driver, passenger and all the rest. And that's pretty much it for the front. Oh, sorry, the door bins, yes, fit 0.5, 0.7 liter bottles and some smaller items. Right, so let's check the second row. Right, the Impreza from the second row, as you can see, the seat in front is adjusted to me. I'm 184 tall. You see I have still plenty of headroom here. I have plenty of knee room. Very spacious, I have to say. Then the doors open sufficiently wide. Let me close it because it's cold. And what I mentioned in the front, where we have real carbon fiber, here we have something that looks like it. However, in the front we have it very shiny, obviously real. And here we have some kind of, well, wrapping or foil, whatever. Then electric window, not with a one-touch function, so you have to hold it. However, very good, it closes all the way. And you see as well we have tinted windows, B-pillar all around the back. Then a little compartment for 0.5 liter bottles in the doors. Then we have no pocket behind the driver, we have one behind the passenger. In the middle tunnel, zero connectivity, so no USB, no air vents, no 12-volt power socket, no power plug. Transmission tunnel is quite big, it's pretty high, so left and right you have to put the feet. Then headrests, you can see we have 3, which are great. You see we have here a little something to put the belt through. It actually attached the right side to the C-pillar in case you have a third person, otherwise it's not here, which is actually nice. Then an armrest, which is good and high. 2 cup holders with kind of rubberized spacers, which is actually good. You can't go through to the boot. Isofix left and right. Light is a little bit too much in the front. 2 hooks left and right, as well as handle. And that's pretty much it. Comfortable, space is good, headroom is good. Unfortunately, no connectivity. So let's check the boot. Alright, so the Impreza from the back and from the side, and it looks a little bit more sporty than the one before, I have to say. I do like the small subtle changes. What do we have? So we have the shark fin antenna on top, little roof spoiler with a 3rd brake light. Then we have from the side coming into the lights, and they are really kind of 3D coming out of the car, so it's kind of, you can lean on it. Red and white rear lights. Then we have on left side Subaru symmetrical all-wheel drive. That means the car actually has 60-40 distribution of the power, so 60 goes to the front, 40 to the back. However, if needed, it switches to 50-50, so symmetrical all-wheel drive. Then on the right side, Impreza, the Impreza logo in the middle. We have no parking sensors on this one. Parking sensors, believe it or not, this is actually one thing that I do not like so much, cost extra, and if you would like to have them in the front and in the back is 1,300 Swiss francs extra. Luckily, however, we have an reverse camera built in this version, so it helps you a lot. It would have been nice if the parking sensors would have been included as well. So boot opens not too high, I would say just 175, something like this. Then we have the boot cover, so people cannot look inside what you have. And then we have a space of 385 liters, and if you fold down the seats left and right separately, you can extend it up to 1,585 liters, which is quite a lot. We have a little light on the left side, which you manually have to switch on and off. Some hooks, some are plastic, the one on the bottom are metal, and we have a little second compartment below the boot floor where you can put small items. Loading height is actually good, and there's a little way you have to put it down, so if you have something it will not fall out of the car, which is okay. So let's close the boot, and now let's drive. So let's drive the Impreza, and first test as usual is the cruise control test, because here we have right away a 30 km/h zone, and right away I can already tell you 2 thumbs up, because the cruise control, even though you have to restart it every time you get in the car, works at 30 km/h. Very good, love it. So cruise control, if you push it once it goes 5 km steps, if you push it longer or hold it, it goes 1 km steps up or down. Now, fuel consumption I think actually is very reasonable if you drive reasonable. Yeah, 6.6 liters, let's say 7. Now I have 7 with idling and so on. 7 liters for a car with 156 horsepower, all-wheel drive, automatic, and all assist systems on board is actually pretty good, I have to say. And this is not a turbocharger, it's a boxer engine, so the difference between a normal engine is that you have either all in one line and the pistons go up. A V-shape or V8, V6, obviously it's in a V-shape, so the pistons go this way, and a boxer actually is 180 degrees, means the pistons go left and right, so against each other, and therefore we have less vibration in the entire car, in the engine, and more smooth ride basically, which is good. Okay, so handling. Steering I found to be a little bit too soft. I wish it would be a little bit more precise and maybe a bit harder or stiffer. However, again, this is not the WRX STI version, this is a normal Subaru Impreza, and I believe, because I've seen quite a lot of reviews on this car already from Australia, that this is very popular down under. So in case you're looking from Australia, or if you're watching from Australia, greetings to down under. Now, price actually for the small engine for the 114 horsepower, 24,150 francs is actually good. I, however, would not recommend, not because of the engine, but because it's pretty naked. I think the Swiss Plus is the one that you should look at, because it's still reasonable in regards to price, and at the same time you have a car that's equipped with everything. Yeah. So the only thing missing in this car is sunroof and leather seats and parking sensors, which we discovered are crazy expensive for 1,300 francs. But that's a different story. However, assist system and safety feature-wise, this thing is great, yeah, because we have the eyesight cameras which are built in here, and we have the forward collision warning and assist system. So it will, if you don't react, it will first warn you optically, also visually and acoustically. If you don't do anything, it will start braking, and if you still don't do anything, it will do a full brake. Maybe it will not be able to stop that the accident happens, however the impact will be minimized. We have blind spot assistant, which is really bright and great. At the same time, in the night too bright, because I can dim the light inside the cabin. However, these things I can't dim, and they're so much into your face that actually it's kind of hurts your eyes. Depends on how tired you are. So in the night they are really bright, and they are huge because they are like multiple LEDs here. Now it's getting a bit too warm. Air conditioning works fine, heating works fine. I love that we have heated seats in 2 settings. They take a little to get warm, but once they are warm, then actually they're too warm, so you have to switch back to low. And now you see in the eyesight system, we have a car. We see it in this display here, we see it there, and you see it's going away from me. And if we get closer to it, it will slow down. And the good thing is it slows down to a full stop. If then the car disappears, for example, if you're in traffic jam, it will alert you. So you're like, in case you're playing with the navigation or the radio, and then you know, oh, okay, I can go again. And you hear all this beeping and everything. So this is all the eyesight, as well as that it's cold, it's 3 degrees. So we have winter warning, basically ice and slippery roads. Now we see the car in front disappears. This gets further away, further and further and further. And at one point it will be gone. Now we want to accelerate, so we go to 70. Here we go. Now I mentioned it's too warm already. Okay, turn it off. The responsiveness on the engine is good. We're going to accelerate in a moment, and then you will see it. And the assist systems are okay as well. However, sometimes the lane departure assistant, it only works at 65 and above. It takes some time to actually activate itself. So I'm not quite sure if it needs different kind of lanes. For example, now it's not active. You see, it doesn't do anything. It will tell you, okay, you're going over the lane, however it doesn't do anything. So it needs a certain speed and scenario which I wasn't able to discover yet. What are the criteria for it to actually work all the time? Now we're gonna go right. And we're gonna go onto the highway. Accelerate. And you hear it's getting loud, but actually it moves. Yeah. And what I like as well is the 7th speed. The 7th gear, however, or actually not however, what I like is it's kind of a saving gear. See, here we go. Now it's working. Where's my lights? Here we go. So the 7th gear is actually a gear to save fuel. See, now actually it was okay, it was not too bright, and if I'm gonna blink now, it will start blinking. So yesterday it was actually much bigger. Let me see if I can turn this on. So now we have full brightness here, as you can see. Now the lane departure is off again, so it turns on and off, depends on whatever. I don't know what, tell me if you know. Well, for example, it's off. I think it has to be sometime, it has to figure out the lanes first. Nope, it's on. Nope, it's on. Ah, here we go. Now it just turned on. Okay. And it does a good job. It will start, you know, telling you, okay, put your hands back on the wheel. It will do that for approximately 20-ish seconds. Let's see. Still doing it, still doing it. Another alert. Now it turns off. So, don't rely on it. It's just there to assist you. Then, all the assist systems are great. I really love them. And I think this is something all cars should be equipped with by default. By law, no car should have anything without this. We have sign recognition, obviously you see it. There's another camera in here. It tells me now 100. And now let it roll. And other than that, I think build quality is good. This is a little... Well, it's okay, it's a door panel. It's fine. Somewhere the window has to go as well. But I love the carbon fiber. Really great thing. Would have been nice if that would be carbon fiber as well, but maybe that would be a little bit too much and would have put the price up. So not that affordable anymore. Engine choice. Only 2 engines here in Switzerland, 114 horsepower and 156 horsepower. I would go for the bigger one, because bigger is better. No, I mean, usually it's always better if you have a little bit more power and don't use it, rather than having less power and you have to use it all the time, because that will increase fuel consumption. So if you have an engine that has a little bit more capacity and power output, you know you can use it, but you don't have to, and that usually helps with the fuel consumption. So that's pretty much it. Thank you very much Centralgarage in Thun, who provided this car to me. Link in the description. And if you have any question, please put them down in the comments and ask me. Leave any feedback, leave any comments, and subscribe to the channel, and head over to Centralgarage, link in the description as well, as I mentioned. So that's it. I wish you a great day, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and depends on whenever you see this, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.